What's up, everyone? Making some ribs today for my father and mother-in-law. They're coming over tonight for dinner and to hang out with the kids, the grandkids. These are just St. Louis spare ribs. I don't like, baby backs are okay, but spare ribs, St. Louis is the cut, I believe is why they're called St. Louis. They trim off the top part of the rib, get rid of the second bone, if you will, and the extra meat. Anyways, just bought these, and I like these a lot better than baby back ribs. They just tend to have a lot more meat on them and a lot more fat, which is what I enjoy. So I peeled the membrane off the back of both of these and washed them pretty good, and then dried them really good. Threw some mustard on them and some of this Weber dry rub. Typically I make my own rub. If not, then I use Malcolm Reed's Killer Hogs barbecue rub, but I didn't have any of that, so I just used what I had, and I didn't feel like making my own rub today. Anyways, put some mustard on it, not for flavor, just to have the rub adhere to the ribs and whatnot. And I just threw these on, so about 11 o'clock, and so about 2 o'clock, typically I'm a 3-2-1 type of rib cooker, so smoke them for 3 hours, wrap them for 2, and then unwrap them, throw them back on the Traeger for another hour and sauce them and whatnot. I'm debating on whether or not I actually want to do that, but I am going to spritz them with some apple cider vinegar and apple juice. I'm sorry, I'm a little hungover today, so bear with me. Anyways, spritz them with apple cider vinegar and apple juice. Once they get further along in the cook, probably like 12 or so. But then I plan to rub or sauce them with this rib candy. This stuff is amazing. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. Another YouTuber, T-Roy Cooks, who I adore and watch quite a bit actually, got me onto that. He just always used it, and so I wanted to try it. But this rib candy is freaking amazing. Like I said, they have a ton of different flavors, like cherry, pomegranate, habanero, peach habanero, apple habanero. This mango habanero is what we typically like. I don't normally sauce my ribs with barbecue sauce or anything like that, just because, I don't know, my wife doesn't really care for it, but she does love that rib candy on them. And tonight I'm going to be serving my father-in-law some of this Pendleton rye. Bought this special just for tonight. Again, coming over, hanging out with the grandkids, hanging out with the grandparents. Pendleton's my all-time favorite whiskey. I absolutely love it. Again, I had a little bit too much last night of it, so I'm a little hungover. But that rye, Pendleton rye, is absolutely amazing stuff. So if you guys have a chance, try that as well. We'll be back, say, in, I don't know, a few hours or so. I'm gonna, again, think about whether or not I want to spend the time to wrap them with like honey and butter and brown sugar. Might just let these go. We'll see. Forgot to mention too, I'm smoking these at 225 again for a total of 6 hours. Alright, we're at the first hour mark, and again I'm just spritzing these with some apple cider vinegar and then apple juice, just to keep some moisture on them, and the apple cider vinegar for a little bit of tang. I'm all for like Carolina style barbecue sauces where it's like vinegar heavy. I like that shit. Not like overly sweet and thick. Although when I make barbecue sauces, typically what I'm doing is making it like spicy and sweet and really thick. Hour 2, back out here to spritz again. As you can see, they're just starting to get a little bit dry on the top right there. Most people spritz. So kind of up in the air whether or not I'm going to wrap these, honestly. Sometimes when you wrap them, again, it's just meat to cook, but they tend to fall off the bone a little too much, which I understand, like backyard barbecue, that's like what most people are going for. If I was in a competition, which I'm not, and I've never done barbecue competitions, you almost kind of want them a little bit of tug to them, not necessarily like fall off the bone per se. You want a good bite when judges are judging your ribs. Again, haven't done it myself. Just watched a lot of competitions online and whatnot, just kind of see what it was all about. But for the most part, that's kind of what I've gleamed from watching some of those and doing some research. So you don't necessarily want them like falling off the bone, but you want a good bite to them. So, I don't know. Anyways, it's 1 o'clock. I threw them on at 11, so I still have an hour to think about it. So, we'll see. Right, so we are right here at that 3-hour mark. It's 2 o'clock. And I'm going to go ahead and spritz them because they look a little bit dry. Honestly, those look really good, in my opinion. I don't see a lot of the bone pulling away, or the meat pulling off the bone just yet. Here we are at hour 4. And I've been spritzing these like every 30 minutes or so. In fact, I actually put some Tiger's sauce on it. It's like a sweet and spicy kind of, I don't know, vinegar-based sauce. And then squirted some honey on it, and then actually sprinkled a little bit more seasoning on these, just because I'm not wrapping them. I want to try and get as much flavor as possible, because again, typically when I wrap them, I'm using brown sugar, honey, butter, and then apple juice in that. But I'm starting to get a little bit nervous just because I don't see the meat pulling away from the bone really. Again, this is just hour 4, so I'm gonna spritz them. Like I said, I've been doing it on and off throughout the cook, and as recently as like just 30 minutes ago. But yeah, I added in some extra flavor. But yeah, so that's what they look like at hour 4. So it's been about 15 minutes or so since I spritzed last. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more honey on these, just to kind of build up again that flavor. And I'm just drizzling it on. Apparently, I'm still hungover. I'm just gonna kind of let it cook down, and it'll cover naturally the rest of the ribs. I want to get that inside. One thing I did fail to mention, again, I'm just cooking at 225. There's a lot of sugar that I'm adding to these, and I don't want them to get like overly dark. Again, just not wrapping, doing no wrap style. But when I put them on my cooker, I actually have a Weber Smoky Mountain that I love and need to probably break out and just cook on once or twice this year, just saying that I have. Anyways, whatever cooker you're using, I kind of bunch up my ribs, and I'm sure most of you guys already do, but however you kind of place your ribs on your cooker is the way that they're going to come out, and I wanted these to be as meaty as possible, so I bunch them up when I throw them on. And again, I'm just cooking low and slow. If these happen to go over past like the 6-hour mark, whatever, then so be it. I'm not trying to rush these. I'm not going to cook any higher, again, because of all the sugar that I'm adding to these. I just don't want them to burn and get like really dark. Right now they have a really good color. If I was to cook a competition, we've done like between friends and neighbors and stuff like that, right? If I was gonna go ahead and put these in a competition just amongst our friends, I'd wrap them right now because the color on them is great. And but yeah, I'm just not. I'm gonna try this no wrap method. So spritz these, and then I'm gonna throw on that rib candy and let that kind of tighten up on the meat itself. But I think I'm gonna wait. Maybe another 30 minutes and spritz one more time, and then probably do that. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna dust them one more time with seasoning. Again, if I'm not making my own pork rub, I'm typically using Killer Hog's barbecue rub, which I absolutely love. I don't know, it's got great color to it, great flavor. I really enjoy it. I'm just using this Weber dry rub right now, again, because I'm all out of Killer Hogs. But again, when I'm not feeling lazy, I'm typically making my own rub. So I'm just gonna do that, just add just a little bit more flavor to that. We're holding good at, wow, $2.25 is what it was when I first came out here. But I'm gonna do that and spritz it just so the rib has something to kind of adhere to. I'm gonna probe them here, not necessarily for temperature, but for tenderness. But I'll do that here in just a little bit. Sorry, I should probably show that again. So, that bone right there. That's going through like butter. So these are really close to being done, and it's about 5 hours and 15 minutes in the cooker. So it's going between bones. Yeah, those feel good. So I'm gonna spritz again one more time and then throw my rib candy on. Again, these are just St. Louis spare ribs. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that, I mean, they're spare ribs, and the reason why they're called St. Louis is based on the trim that is done on the rib, taking off the skirt up here and that knuckle or second bone or whatnot. Baby backs come from the top part of the pig, if I'm not mistaken, where spare ribs come from like the lower part of the rib on the pig. But I believe that that's why they are called St. Louis, is based on the way that they are trimmed down by the butcher and then placed in cryovac. Because you can buy the full spare rib with, again, with the skirt up top and the extra bone, knuckle, whatever it is right there. These aren't trimmed down nearly as what other people do for like competitions and whatnot. I like the extra meat. So, but I'm gonna throw some rib candy on here in just a little bit, because those feel, just probing them, feel super good. Just using the rest of the, I guess, peach cranberry habanero, but we do have some mango habanero that I'll probably throw on here if I run out of this. You don't need very much. Again, my wife doesn't like them overly salty, almost naked. We just put a little bit of this on it and let it cook, let all the sauce kind of tighten up on the meat. And so we'll see how far we get. But my mistake. I thought this was just mango habanero. It's peach cranberry habanero, which is just as good. Like I said, this rib candy, they have all sorts of flavors, and all of them, from what we've tried so far, have been freaking delicious, and it just makes your meat shine. It just makes it look gorgeous. I was worried about them getting too dark, again, doing the no wrap. But these look amazing, actually. So, let's see if I can get the rest of that on. Okay, for some extra flavor, I am gonna go ahead and add some of that mango habanero rib candy and just kind of let it drizzle all over, and like I said, it'll kind of just cook down into the meat and whatnot. Yeah, I turn the heat down to 180 or so, because these are done. The sauce to adhere to the meat and tighten up a little bit. So yeah, oh, that looks good. It smells phenomenal. Alrighty, so I am gonna go ahead and pull these off now. This is like right at the 6 o'clock hour, and these look like, well, there we go. These look like they have a pretty good bend to them. Like I said, when I was probing them, I wasn't necessarily probing for temperature, more so for tenderness, and they felt that they were tender as hell. So I'm gonna pull these off and I'm gonna let them rest for about 15 minutes or so before I slice them. But yeah, that has a really good bend in my opinion. That looks good right there. And they got a little dark on the underside, but not burnt. So that's always a plus. Separate those two, pull them off. But yeah, those look absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. I can't wait to dig into these. All right, so these have been resting for about 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna go ahead and slice into them to see how these no wrap ribs turned out. And I'm hoping they fucking turned out good. They look good, but we will see here in just a second. And so I'm just kind of going down the bone. As you can see here. And these feel super good. You can see the amount of moisture and juice that are coming off of these. I don't want to squeeze too much. But nice smoke ring. They look good. Again, I don't want these to fall off the bone. I just want to be able to take a good bite and have that bite mark in it. So let's do it. So good. The rub is a little bit different. Again, I'm typically using Killer Hogs barbecue rub. It's not bad. It's just a little bit different. And that's kind of why I tend to make my own, because I can kind of control some of the flavors in it and whatnot. But that's a good rub. That's a really good rub. It's got some tug to it. Like I said, nice bite mark, as you can see. And it's also coming off the bone. So I think my family will be happy. Enjoy this next to a glass of cold Pendleton rye, which I'll be serving tonight. But these are tasty. Thank you guys.